the oil change is done. So we're gonna tackle this airbox here. And all of a sudden all the neighborhood kids are playing. And we disconnected the battery in the trunk, so we're gonna unplug the map sensor up here. And to take out the screws, I have a 3mm Allen wrench that fits right in there. And then to get this plug out, it's actually super easy. I just grab my 2mm wrench and I can press right down the tab and pull it out. And that way, the plug should come right out of here. It's past the tab now, so it should wiggle right off. Okay, it's a simple push down on this for it to clear this tab here. And it comes right off, duh, right? Okay, so we'll put that to the side. And then we'll take off these screws, which I did break loose. Because this sensor will transfer right in, back into the stock airbox. I'm getting that screw right down there. Come loose, very good. Since I broke it loose, I can use the long end now. We'll take this out and then we'll go in the garage where it's a little quieter. All right, so we got the map sensor out of the car, and this rubber seal all around still actually looks pretty good. And oddly enough, there was some dirt on it, and I'll just use a toothbrush to clean that up before I put it into the, where is it? Oh yeah, right here, onto the stock airbox. And I'll clean that mating surface up as well. And then for the tubing of the airbox, I think I literally just need a flathead, or you can grab the correct socket. But I'll take a walk back over here. Good, how are you? Yeah. So I can just loosen my clamps here. And since we don't have the stock tubing, this came with the K&N. From what I looked up, I can figure out a way to reuse this, so stay tuned. So I actually have to get it off of this fitting here. So it's been on here for quite a while, so it's pretty tight on there. And I can loosen these clamps. This guy is held down by what looks to be a 10mm nylon locking nut, so I gotta get a 10mm deep well socket. And then I can get this whole thing. I think I really just have to take these clamps off the throttle body housing and then take that nut off. The whole thing will come right out. So there's one more bolt I got to show you that's holding down the whole airbox, the K&N. And I just want to show you this. I grabbed my 13mm, which is 511 thousandths of an inch. That's too sloppy of a fit. It's actually 1/2 inch, 500 thousandths. So I got my little 1/2 inch socket here on a long extension. And this is not factory, or probably not supplied with the hardware, because mostly everything on cars nowadays is metric. It's going to be this 1/2 inch, looks like a stainless bolt down in there. So I'll go ahead and take that off. And the rubber hosing I was able to just work off. You can spray a little silicone spray if you've got to put it back on. And it'll go right on way easier. I got the clamp loose so I can get this out. So, and I got the nut off so I can come right off. So it's just that bolt down in there. So I'll get my long 10-inch extension. I could even get a longer one on top of that. Let's just see if I can break it loose. Oh, nice. Good, good, good. Not all rusted away in there. And I could even take the ratchet off. Yeah, I can work it out by hand now. So now, the whole K&N airbox should come right out. Yeah, so now I got a 1/2 inch head. It's actually like a 3/8 stainless bolt that I can save. And this whole guy, look at that, just comes right out of the car. And I just gotta, this has probably been on here for so long, so I have to work this boot off. So I'll just be careful with some maybe screwdrivers or plastic pry bars on the back and whatnot, and we'll work that off. I'll go to the next step. So the old screws, they only work with the K&N box because it has brass threaded inserts, as you can see. The new one, if you're missing your stock hardware, just use these little 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch long little HVAC screws. They got a sharp point and they'll just thread right into the plastic. Of course, don't go too tight. Otherwise, you're back in. You get your tab facing up for the connector. So now comes the fun part where I can machine a little adapter that can be a nice fit in here. Maybe even split it so it clicks in and then goes onto our tubing here, which will go on the car. If you see in here, there's a fit down in there about 3/4 of an inch in, and I don't have my calipers on me. I don't have a small enough little snap gauge that can collapse down below 1/2 inch. So I just had a bunch of material in here, a bunch of dowel pins, and this guy is a pretty snug fit down in there. And so I just took this with my 0 to 1 inch mics, and it came out to about 436 thousandths, which is basically 7/16 of an inch, because that's 437.5 thousandths. So I can machine my fit and my material. I'm all over the place here, but I got a piece of this black acetal rod, and I can machine this on my lathe here. And I was looking for my bore size, so I went off the K&N, and the bore here is with my scale. I measured it about 7/32 of an inch, so that comes out to 218 thousandths. But I don't have to be exact. I could go 200 thousandths, whatever I need to do. And then I just got to make sure my one end is snug for the hose to go on, and then the other end with the split fit goes down in here. And this kind of has a taper to it, and so I could step it up from that 436 thousandths of an inch or so up into this fit here, and I can measure that with my snap gauges and put a little taper on this piece. But I'll chuck this up here in the lathe and we'll get to machining. Okay guys, so we got some of our OD machined out. So now we're doing the bore here. I got a 13/64 drill bit, and I have a mark on it for how deep I want to go. 13/64 is 203 thousandths of an inch. So I'm just working it in, and I'll back it out so I can clear my chips here. And I'll come back in. I'm almost done. You can see my mark. It's right there on the drill bit. Going a little bit further than I need to, just in case, so I know I've bored through the total length of my work that I'm looking for. I'm just being careful because this table is just plywood. Not trying to do anything too heavy on these cuts. And there should be one more pass here. I'll show you my little blueprint of all my measurements. I wrote it out so I can keep referencing it as I machine. Okay, perfect. Took it right to the mark. I'll just bring that all the way out. Okay, my drill bit's all the way out, so I'll just turn it off. I'll loosen the tailstock. I can slide the whole tailstock back. Put my chips in my chip tray. And this is what we're working with so far. Here is my diagram here for reference. So I'm starting with the left side of it. That's the front of my work here, furthest away from the chuck. And then I'm working my way over. So what I did here is the very end, it may be hard to tell, but the very end is actually tapered up above that 437 inch thick fit. And my idea here, what I'm trying out, is if the end I make a little bit thicker and then I actually put a split through the whole thing, when I go to push it in to the bore here, instead of relying on the thicker part right here, the 570 inches thick fit or OD to press fit right into here, I was thinking, why not see if I can do a split on the end and have it collapse down. When it makes it through the hole, it'll open up and that'll have a shoulder to hold itself on the inside there. So I'll see if it works, and if not, then I'll just have to try again, but I got plenty of material, and then I'll keep going. And then the other side shouldn't be too bad. I just gotta basically machine my two fits for the hose to slide onto. And yeah, just got the bore done, and I'll just keep it going, and I'll show you the end product before I press it in. So I'm nearly there. I got my fit for my blue hose to slide right onto with a tight fit there, and then I'm doing my split here with the Husky knife with the serrated part of the knife. And if you can see that, I'm just doing a split, so you be careful because the front of the piece will flex now that you have less material right here, so it's weaker here. But I'm just sawing one side, sawing the other, and trying to do a full even saw after that, and getting the split back enough where that'll help me. And I actually machined the front down to 455 thousandths, which is about 18 thou over the 437 hole. And it's tapered down here. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but it does taper down a little bit right behind the fit before it tapers back up to the 569 fit, which is right past this little countersink right in there. So, and this is kind of going to be a one-time thing. So once I get the split right and I force it in there, it's probably gonna be really hard to get it out without damaging it, so I'll just kind of go for it, because there's no access on the side to like pinch the split down, you know, unless you have some crazy needle nose that could go in the tubing here, take a 90 and grab it. You have to do it blindly, but I think this will be just fine. So this is my piece nearly done. All right, here it is in all of its plastic glory, one piece machined. So I deburred it real well. I got my split here in the front on both sides, about 5/16 of an inch deep. So that should be good enough. And I'll just make sure it goes onto the hose first. Nice tight fit all the way on. And then will it go into the airbox hole? That will be the real kicker. So let's just see. I don't know, guys. You could just buy a whole new thing from the factory for like $12 plus shipping, and I get that, but why not try to make one yourself if you got the tools to do so? So we'll go put this on the car and see what happens. So we're all back together, and as an added bonus, I found another locking nut for this securement on the airbox, because I just reused that one, but I was missing one, but I found one. And then for future reference, because if these crank pulleys can separate like they do on the Corvettes, I got a mark there, and I'm ready to take a look at that, keep an eye on it. So let me know what y'all think. That is a tight fit in there, and my split opened up and it's holding great. It's super tight. The hose is on that metal tubing there, tight fit, and I just zip tied it right to the fuse box. I'm gonna start it up, see if it works. All right, she's ready. running. They didn't blow out of there. Everything's hooked up. As stock as you can be, and just a little bit of a different color there. So that's oil change done, air filter, stock airbox back on. We still needed the tires. We still need to change the brake fluid. We still need to change the coolant. And some of the third thing. Oh, the spark plugs and the wires. That's right. We got those in the mix. Everything's looking good in here. Let's take it for a little spin, shall we? Third brake light is a little bit popped out from where it's supposed to sit, but it still works, as you can see. What is this? Open then close driver window. Okay, what is going on there? I don't know. Wait a minute. You can see it. Third brake light in the rear view. You can see our gauges are working. Is that super accurate? I don't know. Oil pressure's saying it's about 37, 40. We got trans temp for our manual. We got oil temp and voltage. I like these gauges. They're pretty simple, just like the rest of the interior. Bloomberg 99.1. We got a radio. Insane. Back to basics. Oh yeah, the AC doesn't work. What a rip. So where am I gonna set you guys? Oh yeah, no way I wedged you into the seat headrest like I did, and we get a good shoulder OV, not a POV, but a shoulder OV. And we'll just take this thing. Phone, wallet, keys. Yes, we're good. What is happening here in 2025 where we're playing around with a Camaro? Oh man, this is why life is so fun. You can just do whatever you want, you know, within reason, right? But here I am in a Camaro. You know, I could go get a Mustang. I could sell this and buy a freaking Mustang. The only clean title ones are like $25,000–$30,000. I could get a Challenger, but you know, people keep stealing those. So I guess I'll just ride out with the Camaro. Why not? The visibility, still getting used to that. But it's fun, I gotta tell you. It's just a big V8. This is just kind of a dinosaur amongst today's cars. It was a Tesla Model 3. I wasn't even trying to race it, but it quickly out accelerated me from a light. Just the other day. So maybe that'll be the daily at some point. Some kind of electric car that's just super zippy. But I'm just gonna play around with the sports cars. Only sports cars I can buy and pay off in full, you know what I mean? I just bought this outright. And I can just have fun in it. The Beetle's still hanging on. The taillight lens almost fell off on me. I had to glue that back on. It's actually gluing right now as we speak. But yeah. car's driving pretty well. And we'll just, like I said, we'll just keep doing the maintenance. I don't even think I need to really mod it. I'll just keep saving up, I guess, for a house. Why not? As soon as I get that higher paying job, I'll be rocking and rolling. And then if I do want to do heads, cam, intake, go crazy, I can do that later on. But for now, I'll just enjoy it as it is. Because I mean, I've never owned a car over 400 horsepower. So I mean, the Shelby's and the Challenger, they was just for 30 days. I'm talking about outright owning one for real. So you know, I wasn't gonna drop 70 grand on a Shelby and keep it. That would bankrupt me. I'm no high roller. I'm just an average guy who happened to get himself into something like this. So yeah, there'll be more truck maintenance videos, and then I think I'll sell that sometime early 2026. So look out for that if you're interested in the truck. And that's really all I got for you. Since we're first in line, if no one cuts the light from the other side, I'll do a little pull for you. But keep in mind the tires are 7-8 years old, so I don't want to do anything crazy. So yeah, like I said, not the fastest thing in the world, but enough to give me a little bit of fun, you know, on a Monday off. So happy Labor Day. We'll see you guys in the next one. I gotta go to windows down because it's getting hot. Yeah, remember, no AC.